the twilight's last gleam.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Creighton Prep and this milestone in our history. My name is Kathy Bertolini, and I'm the Vice President of Development. Thank you for joining us today to honor those alumni who gave the ultimate sacrifice in the service of their country, as well as the Jesuits and long-tenured lay faculty and staff. Members together modeled for all prep students what sacrifice and service truly mean in the Catholic and Jesuit tradition.
On behalf of the governing board, I join with Kathy in welcoming you to this historic moment. She mentioned quite well just why we are here today. It's on the shoulders of some memorable souls and in the shadow of wonderful examples that they have set that allows us to stand in gratitude for what they built.
It's a joy for me to speak this afternoon about the number of Jesuits, which surprised me when I found out that number from Kathy, that 333 Jesuits, priests, brothers, scholastics have served at Creighton Prep since our founding in 1878. This plaza honors those men. Men who taught, administrated, coached, counseled, mentored, celebrated Mass, presided at weddings, funerals, baptisms.
You have made me a better principal and prepared me for the role of acting president by your example. Whether you are teaching or taught at Prep, worked in facilities or instructional technology, raised money in the development office, managed the money in the business office, or helped spread the good word about Prep one student at a time in the high school office, I can point to at least one mentor of mine in each of these areas, whom I have admired for their dedication to Prep and for the way they have gone about their business each and every day. Thank you, one and all.
And though Jesus knew his destiny, he still didn't try to flee. Can there be a greater courage than to see your final fate and still push on in the name of love, right into the face of hate?
You could have better speakers here today, but nobody could be here and owe you what I do. If it hadn't been for young men on a hill in Vietnam, many that gave their lives, I'd be dead today. If it hadn't been for a teenage wife that loved me, cared for me, gave me a reason and will to live, I wouldn't be here. I owe him everything. Bobby Luthian, the Canadian, had a memento he wore near his heart. And the only thing he said is, in this world of give and take, there are not enough people willing to give what it takes. Bobby gave it all.
I'm deeply honored to be here with you today at the blessing and dedication of the Dennis Circo Memorial Wall. Dennis, of the Creighton Prep class of 1965, was the alumnus of the year 3 years ago. He set a very high bar for the alums who follow him. Dennis is not only led by creating this lasting memorial we're here today to dedicate, this lasting memorial to all of the prep grads who fell in the service of their nation. He has also led through his support of the Circo scholars, young men who, because of his generosity, will grow to become men for others in Dennis's mold. Mr. Circo, you are a true son of Creighton Prep, shaped by the Jesuit tradition, and I'm told, by many hours in jug. We, sir, are proud of you.
Ensign John Parle was a 1938 graduate of Creighton Prep, and he's the school's only known recipient of the Congressional Medal of Honor, our nation's highest honor. 3 of his brothers also attended Creighton Prep. Francis Parle, now living in Lacey, Washington, from the class of 1940. Jerome Parle, who's living in Spanish Ford, Utah. He's from the class of 1943. And Reverend Richard Parle, who lives in Shelton, Washington, from the class of 1949. These three gentlemen were unable to attend today because of health reasons, but they wish to thank the school for remembering the fallen alumni as well as their brother. And each one described their brother independently as their hero.
Whereas Creighton Preparatory School, founded in 1878, fulfilling a promise by John A. Creighton to create a Catholic-based quality school for boys. Today, Prep is the largest Catholic high school in Nebraska. And whereas Creighton Prep forms men of faith, scholarship, leadership, and service in the Catholic and Jesuit tradition. Students are men for others who serve and seek justice in local, national, and international communities. And whereas the Memorial Plaza at Creighton Prep honors the alumni who made the ultimate sacrifice in 6 military conflicts, former Jesuits who served at Prep, past school presidents and principals, faculty and staff who dedicated more than 15 years to Prep will be also recognized. And whereas the City of Omaha joins the Creighton Prep community to honor the service and sacrifices of these alumni, we especially recognize the service of John Parle, class of 1938, and a Medal of Honor recipient with the designation of John Parle Drive. Now, therefore, I, Jean Stothert, Mayor of the City of Omaha, do hereby proclaim May 30th, 2014 as Creighton Prep Remembrance and Honor Day.
Harry Truman once said, "Our debt to the heroic men and the valiant women in the service of our country can never be repaid. They have earned our undying gratitude. America will never forget their sacrifices." As a widow of a warrior, John Cantoni, who lost his life at the Battle of the Bulge at Bastogne, you never, ever forget the men who gave their lives. But for my great-grandchildren and today's generation who will only read about the war, this memorial will help keep the fallen from being forgotten. I am very grateful to my son and to Creighton Prep for making this memorial possible and honoring the life that John sacrificed. Our veterans gave their lives to protect us and the freedom we enjoy. Unfortunately, freedom is not free. And it is because of those that dared to die, that freedom lives. We must never forget that the freedom we enjoy has been at the cost of so many lives. By honoring them with this memorial, we give them respect and the tribute they so bravely earned. This memorial supports in stone this saying: the nation will remain the land of the free only so long as it is the home of the brave.
Thank you, Kathy. I am very privileged and honored to participate in this memorial. And although the men on this wall came from different graduating classes, different wars, different decades, even different centuries, they all share one thing in common: an immense courage to pay the ultimate price for their beliefs. It is also only fitting that we pay tribute to the men and the women teachers, priests, mentors that helped these young boys who arrived at Prep as barely teenagers grow into those we honor today. Many of these lads no sooner removed their graduating caps and gowns than they were thrown into combat gear and forced to face the greatest evil modern times has known. There's a short passage that I believe links all these brave souls' lives together. Some 2,500 years ago, two very unequal forces faced off at a bridge on opposite sides. On one side of the bridge, standing behind a gate, stood but a handful of defenders. On the other end of the bridge stood a horde of invaders. These words are from Thomas Babington Macaulay's Essays on Courage. Then out spoke brave Horatius, the captain of the gate, and said, to every man upon this earth, death cometh soon or late. But how can man die better than facing fearful odds for the ashes of his fathers or the temples of his gods? Hew down the bridge, Sir Consul, and do it as quick as ye may, for I, with but two beside me, will hold this bridge and hold that foe at play. On yon narrow span, 1,000 may well be stopped by 3. Now, who will stand on either hand and hold this bridge with me? Thank you. God bless you all.